are you loving lemons when you can easily make lemonade out of them? It makes no sense to me. So that's the self-love I have a problem with. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about personal development, intentional living, goal setting, journaling, all of the good stuff. If you're here for the first time, remember to subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I release a video. Have you missed me? If this is the first video you're seeing of me in a while, I made a comprehensive video where I explained where exactly I have been, why I have been MIA, and what exactly that would mean for this channel, content wise and consistency wise. If you want to see that video, check the link in the description. I'm going to put the link to that video and you can click on it and watch it. Remember to let me know what you think about that video, and just like, I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited to be here. If you did not miss me, I missed you guys. I missed doing this and I'm really excited that I'm back to doing it. So yeah, today, like the description said, I'll be sharing an unpopular opinion of mine. And this unpopular opinion, I wrote it down. So forgive me today because I'll be checking my notes a lot, because I actually wrote down a couple of things, mostly because I don't want to make this video and then make mistakes or forget to say certain things that I wanted to say. So because of that, I will be going through my phone notes a lot and then sharing exactly what I wanted to say. Now, this unpopular opinion that I'm about to share might rub a number of you the wrong way. But if you stay with me and you are open-minded, I'm sure that I probably will be able to buy you to my school of thought. But if I cannot buy you to my school of thought, at the very least, I will give you something to think about. So yeah, this unpopular opinion that I have is there's such a thing as toxic self-love. And the reason why a lot of people don't grow is that they love themselves too much. I'll take that again from the top. There is such a thing as toxic self-love, and the reason why a lot of people don't grow is that they love themselves too much. And before you go away, stay with me and think about it. Yes, I came with some research facts. Yes, because I came ready for this unpopular opinion. But this is an opinion that I've had for a long while. Even on my Facebook page and on Instagram, I have shared how that I think that a lot of the reason why we remain mediocre as people, especially in this day and time, is because of toxic self-love. Society has a way of over-glorifying self-love, telling us that we are supposed to love flaws and all. And then the truth about it is that it's not like I hate self-love. Generally, I love the idea of self-love. And as a person of recent time, I have tried as much as possible to incorporate self-care and self-love into my routine. So I'm doing a lot of things. I'm staying hydrated. I recently got a skincare routine because I wanted to actually feel better about my skin. I wanted to look better because I genuinely feel like if you care about yourself, it will show from how you treat yourself. So I invested in that. I'm trying as much as possible to look my best. I'm trying as much as possible to get the required amount of sleep. I'm trying to eat more healthily. Like, I'm just generally trying to be more healthy and to love myself. I even recently downloaded this app that literally shares affirmations, like positive affirmations throughout the day. So I'm receiving 8-9 affirmations that I can chat or I can read for. My friend is distracting me recently, literally what I thought. So yeah, I am generally reading all of these things and I am affirming them, and I'm just trying to incorporate self-love into my life. So generally, I know the importance of self-love, and I'm in no way saying that self-love in itself is bad. The problem that I have is with how this society over glorifies it. So you have all of these content creators and all of these thought leaders or influencers that are telling you that you are supposed to love yourself in the exact state that you find yourself. That's what I have a problem with, because I do understand that for a number of us, there are certain things in our lives that we cannot change. So probably you have a chronic illness, or you have certain things, or maybe probably body deformities or whatnot, and I sympathize with that. I empathize with you, that you generally cannot change. Personally, I have things in my life that I have come to accept because there are things that I cannot change, and I indulge you. Please love yourself in that state. But you and I know that there are a number of things in your life that will little work. you'll be able to change it. So with little tweaks here and there, you'll be able to change it. If probably you took that course, if probably you bought that product, if probably you show up for yourself better, if probably you set more healthier boundaries, if probably you found a way to just genuinely love yourself enough to put in the work to get yourself to where you want to be, you'd be able to change it. So why are you loving lemons when you can easily make lemonade out of them? It makes no sense to me. So that's the self-love I have a problem with. And that's what I really want us to discuss today. So basically, for some reason, I have seen that as a society, we are headed to a place where we are over-glorifying toxic self-love. So let's say, for instance, for me personally, some months ago, I started to have problems with my skin. And I remember that when I started to have all of these skin problems, my first reaction when I saw that I was getting acne. Now, prior to this, I am not someone who gets a lot of acne. When I do, it's mostly like little rashes or at most blackheads. I never get whiteheads. But now I was getting these really large whiteheads, like they were like boil-like and all of that, and they were just all over in different places. I was having them in my back and then some places on my face. And it was really getting to me because this was something that was just out of the blue. And the first reaction that I had to this, because I didn't particularly have a skincare routine, I just used the serum and I think my soap and all of that. What I did at that time was to change my soap. I think I stopped using my serum too. I changed my soap, but then it kept getting worse. And I just decided, um, my face, my skin does not define me. I love myself in this state. I'm not going to allow this thing to steal my joy. I was journaling all of this. I looked for a lot of journaling prompts on skincare and self-love, and I was doing that, and I was just gaslighting myself into happiness, literally. But then my skin was not getting worse. It was not getting sorry, my skin was not getting better. It was actually getting worse. But then I just convinced myself that it didn't matter. But then deep within me, I knew that it mattered because I was not wanting to take pictures. And I'm someone that really likes taking pictures. I was not wanting to take pictures. I wasn't interested in really looking at myself in the mirror. But then I was telling myself that, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, I love myself. And these are, you cannot let a little acne on your body define you. You're pretty just. And yes, I was pretty. But then why was I pretending or gaslighting myself into loving myself in that state when with a little tweak here and there, I could have fixed it? Now, so for a few months, I went on this whole tantrum where I was trying to love myself at that state. And I remember it started to leave some scars on my face and it was really disturbing me and on my back. But then I was just telling myself that, oh, I wasn't going to let it disturb me and whatnot. Till some weeks ago, that I decided that, okay, Hadiza, you are the person on social media who is always saying that you need not love yourself in a state that you're not comfortable with, especially when you are at a position to be able to put in the work to actually get yourself to where you are headed or where you would prefer to be. So I thought about this and I spoke to my friend who I liked her skin. I felt like we also have a similar skin type. I spoke to her and I spoke to her about the problems I was having concerning my skin. She made her recommendations. I asked ChatGPT what he thought. Why did I just give ChatGPT a gender? What it thought, and then I also I binge watched a lot of YouTube videos. I was literally obsessively streaming TikTok videos. Like my For You page literally became skincare. And then I finally decided to purchase some skincare products. I did that. And my skin is better. Now, I'm not saying that I have perfect skin and then you should follow me for skincare tips or whatnot, but I'm at a better place. It's easier for me right now to say that I love my skin. Do you get? It doesn't feel like gaslighting when I say it. And this is where I am comfortable with, as it has to do with self-love. But that self-love that convinces me that I get to be lazy, I get to settle for mediocrity just because I'm too afraid to put in the work and because I'm not sure if it's going to lead to failure, and so because of that I have to love myself at that stage. That's the self-love I have a problem with. And like I said, I came with a number of facts. Like I actually did some research on this whole self-love thing and I wanted us to share. Now the first research, there's this study that published in the journal, there's a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. It found that people with high self-esteem are less likely to seek out and respond positively to feedback, even when it is critical. So basically, what it's saying is that people with high self-esteem are less likely to seek out and respond positively to critical feedback. And then they say this reluctant to acknowledge areas of improvement can limit personal growth and hinder professional success. Duh. So basically what this first study is saying, that people who have high self-esteem, in our case we can say that people who have transcended into toxic self-love are less likely to listen or to accept critical criticism. And the truth about it is, in our day and time, as young people, one of the best ways for you to actually see that there's a problem in your life, or one of the best ways for you to actually see that you require work, or one of the best ways for you to improve, is first and foremost listening to people's feedback. Feedback is amazing. I'm always telling people, even me personally, I like feedback. Like, I know that it hurts because, like, I feel like till recently I used to have a very fragile ego. So when you're telling me that what I did was subpar, or it did not make sense, or I could do it better, I have to literally remove myself from the equation for me to be able to hear you. But then feedback is very important. So when you've reached a point in toxic self-love where someone telling you that this could be done better or you can do better is just something that you just frown upon, you will not grow. You will not improve physically, professionally, socially, relationship-wise. You will not. Because it's the same thing with people that will just be like, oh, I'm like that. I get it. You've been like that for a while. But think about it. Is this something that you can change and still be happy? Or is this a no-no? I feel like we don't calm down to actually try to figure out if certain things are a no-no, or if certain things are things that cannot be changed, if you understand what I mean. Another study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people with high self-esteem are more likely to engage in self-enhancement behaviors, such as seeking out information that confirms their pre-existing belief and ignoring information that contradicts them. This conversation, like about this study, me and my friend had this long conversation about something like this, how that you reach a point in your self-love journey where you are only seeking information that further reiterates the things that you believe in. So let's say, for instance, I've reached a point where I believe that I am that girl. Yeah, I actually believe that I'm that girl. But then you believe that you're that girl to the extent that what you actually believe in is, let's say, let me look for an example off my head now. Let's say that you actually believe that you get away with just saying your mind. And I'm pro say your mind, but then say your mind in empathy. You get, just because it's the truth does not mean it has to be bitter. You can always sandwich your criticism. You can always sandwich your speech, and all of that. So let's say that you reach a point where you are at that. All the posts you're going to want to consume are posts that reiterate that fact. All the people you want to listen to are people who are okay with you actually giving them the bitter truth. You get, people that are saying, oh yeah, say your mind. Anybody that tells you not to say the truth the way it is trying to silence you and all of that. Those are the kind of informations you'll be looking for. And think about it. Like, why does the truth necessarily have to be bitter? This confirmation bias can prevent people from recognizing their flaws and hinder personal growth. Another duh statement. Because if you're only looking for things that further reiterate facts that you have, and further reiterate opinions that you have, beliefs that you have, at the end of the day, the truth about it is that you're going to be just seeking confirmation bias. You're going to be living in confirmation bias because you're only going to be focusing on things that further reiterate what you want. So you're not going to change. You're not going to even see the need to change because everything you like are things that completely aligns with what you believe in. But then for us to grow, we have to be open-minded. Open-minded in the sense that you have to listen to other people's opinions. Okay, like me, for instance, I am making a video on toxic self-love and how that it can hinder growth. Yeah. This doesn't mean that because I believe this, I'm not going to listen to people who are actually saying that this is not toxic self-love. Hell, if you have something that you want to say concerning that is contradictory to what I say, I always implore people, type it out in the comment section. I would love to know what you think about this video. I would love to know what you think about what I think. That's how we grow. Today, I might be pro this, but then tomorrow I might be against it. Why? Because I have grown. But then if you're stuck trying to believe that this is the only way things can be done, you're not going to grow. And then, they said when you stop growing, you die. There's literally a whole quote like that, but I can't remember it right now. So when we become so obsessed with our self-image that we don't seek self-improvement and we accept parts of ourselves that with minor tweaks here and there, we can definitely change, and we refuse to accept that we are not perfect and we could use some work like every other person, it becomes a problem. Because, like, think about me, for instance. If I had stuck to my whole narrative of I was fine, my skin did not define me, this acne did not matter, I would have more acne on my face. I would have more scars on my face right now. But then I had to open my eyes to realize that why am I trying to love something that I could easily change if I put in the work? Like, why? It makes no sense. Because deep down, I knew that it affected me. I was just trying to gaslight myself into happiness. But then as soon as I was able to like open up myself and decide that, oh, I'm going to put in the work, I did, and I have seen improvement. Now, like I say, there's a caveat to this. There are things in our lives that we generally cannot change. There are things in my life that I know that I don't think that there is anything humanly possible. Well, maybe with time, but right now I can't think of anything that could actually change these things about myself. By all means, love yourself in that state. But don't settle because you're lazy. Don't settle because there's a quote that tells you that, oh, you're not supposed to, you're supposed to love yourself. All of these talks, like right off my head right now, I can't really remember a lot of these quotes. But then there are so many quotes right now that will just support whatever thing you want to support. We can't just keep trying to love ourselves in certain states. We need self improvement and growth. I'm always telling people, I'm always telling myself, Hadiza, why fake something that can be real? Like, why am I faking happiness for skin that is acne, when I can genuinely just work and get an acne free skin and love it? Why am I faking it? Like, why am I faking satisfaction with things that I'm not satisfied with? Why don't I just put in the work and try as much as possible to be satisfied? You know, like, there's just so many things about us that generally we know that we can't be happy right now except we actually put in the work to make ourselves happy. So why indulge ourselves and then just subscribe into this toxic self-love thing? And because of this toxic self-love, we refuse to admit that we're not perfect. We refuse to admit that we need work, and then we settle because we are lazy or convinced that we must love ourselves in this state. Now, like I said earlier, there are things that we can't change. I'm further reiterating it because I know that most people that will come from me because of this video will come from me from the position of there are things that we cannot change. For those things that you cannot change, honestly, it is beautiful to see people love those things. Love them. And I honestly hope that you do. And you and I know that, oh, you and I know, let's be honest, that there are a lot of things about ourselves that we can't change. So why not change them? So basically, this is what I wanted to share in this video. I know that this is a lot to swallow. It's a lot to swallow, to be very honest. But then, if you really take out the time to think about it, you would see where I'm coming from. You would see that honestly, toxic self-love is not taking us anywhere. Why fake what can be real? Think about it. What would actually happen to you if you learn to acknowledge your flaws? Like, why are you pretending you're perfect? Like, you might not know it, but I know I'm not perfect. And you and I know that if we're being honest to ourselves, you're probably not perfect too. And I know that probably people talk about how perfection is perfect, and then no one is perfect and all of that. But me, I thoroughly believe that we can be the best of ourselves. Like, I, as Hadiza, I can be the best possible version of Hadiza that I want to be. Do you get? Because everybody's definition is different. So you have to think about it. What would happen if you actually learn to acknowledge that you're not perfect, that you have flaws, that there are mistakes that you need to correct, that there are things that you can do to be better? Personally, I know what will happen. We'll become better versions of ourselves. We will grow, we will blossom, we would glow, if that makes sense. Yes, it is important to love ourselves. It is. but it's equally important for us to be honest with ourselves. So basically, I wrote this thing that I wanted to use to end this video. My goal for this video was to pretty much share my opinion on the subject, of course, and share my unpopular opinion. But more than that, it was to call you to refuse to accept yourself in your current state. I am not perfect. You might not know it, but I sure do. And if you're honest to yourself, neither are you. And as important and as beautiful as self-love is, it reaches a point where you have to ask yourself certain questions. Why fake things that can be real? Why settle for parts of you that with the right knowledge and efforts you can correct? Why? So yeah, if you reach this point of this video, remember to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy it, please let me know why in the comment section. If you have any questions or any subject that you want me to touch on, or something that you did not understand and you want me to explain, or any argument at all, my comment section is always open. If you need to communicate with me directly, the best way to communicate to me is either sending me an email or actually sending me a direct message on Instagram. If you reach this point in this video and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button, and so that you'll be notified every time I release a video. And yes, see you when next I come to your screen.